Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Long time no see, but we're back in business, and today we're talking about the extraordinary life of Rhaena II Targaryen. There will be an author's note type thing in the end here where we kind of discuss my absence and the future of this channel, so stay tuned for that. And as per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on post notifications to be notified when I post another YouTube video. So let's begin. Rhaena Targaryen was born in 116 AC in the free city of Pentos alongside her twin sister Baela, and Rhaena was actually the second-born twin and Baela was the first-born twin, and later on in the video we will discuss why this has kind of an importance. And she was the daughter of Prince Daemon Targaryen, some of you may know him as the Rogue Prince, and his wife, the Lady Rhaena Velaryon. And Rhaena was actually the daughter of Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, who in turn was the daughter of Prince Aemon Targaryen and Lady Jocelyn Baratheon, which made Rhaenys and Daemon cousins, and it made him and Rhaena second cousins. I'm not too well versed in the names of such familiar relations because honestly their family tree is wide and vast, and I can't remember what to call everyone because we all know they could have been cousins, but genetically siblings, so yeah, they were related, but they're Targaryens, so. Well, Baela and Rhaena were born sickly for the first few months of their lives. That would hold on, and but then, they started thriving, and when they were half a year old, they traveled with their mother to her home, Driftmark, also known as the seat of House Velaryon. They were carriers of the famed Targaryen beauty. Both twins possessed the delicate features of the Valyrians, so y'all know what that means. Silver gold hair, purple eyes, but in their case it was silver white hair. At the age of 1 in 117 AC, Rhaena's father, Prince Daemon, presented her and Baela at court to the king, their uncle. And a year later, with the blessing of said King Viserys, Rhaena was betrothed to Prince Lucerys and Baela to Prince Jaehaerys, their cousins, because they were, the children of Rhaenyra Velaryon, aka their uncle, and Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, Daemon's niece. And her sister's dragon egg did hatch and brought forth a hatchling Moondancer, and so did Rhaena's. But hers was sickly and failed to thrive. It died within hours of being hatched. And with time, her good aunt Rhaenyra's dragon produced a clutch of eggs, so Syrax had some babies, and one was given to Rhaena. The tales tell of how she slept with it every eve and dearly prayed for a dragon to match that of her sister's Moondancer. At the age of 4, Rhaena and her sister lost their mother Rhaena in childbirth. Their brother was born deformed and scaled, more dragonkin than human. And if you want like a visual thing here, just think of Rhaego, Dany's child. Though only a few months later, Rhaena's father would remarry her good aunt Rhaenyra after the death of Sir Laenor. And here we have some speculations that Daemon had Laenor killed in order to marry Rhaenyra and, thusly get closer to the throne. And that marriage brought forth 2 healthy children. I think you've heard of them. First came Prince Aegon III in 120 AC, and then Prince Viserys II in 122 AC. Not much is known of Rhaena's childhood, other than that she grew up on Dragonstone. And it appears to have been a pleasant one though, and she was known to love dancing. In 129 AC, Rhaena's stepmother Rhaenyra was brought to the birthing bed once more. However, it was too early. And the daughter was born as monstrous as the son that Lady Rhaena had brought forth years earlier. And here we have an interesting correlation between all of Daemon's 3rd children. So his 3rd child with Rhaena was born scaly, deformed and that. And his 3rd child with Rhaenyra was born scaly, deformed and all of that. And I just made that observation. It's not anything concrete. It's just, it fascinated me how all of Daemon's 3rd children were born to such a fate, but some could argue that this was just due to the stress Rhaenyra was put under, or the anger. And the death of her half-sister Visenya was largely blamed on that of how King Viserys had perished, and even though he declared Rhaenyra his heir, Queen Alysanne and Sir Criston Cole conspired, and they put the crown atop her half-brother, Aegon II, who actually hadn't been brought up to rule. He was 10 years younger than Rhaenyra, and he'd never been the heir, so he didn't really know shit about ruling, whereas Rhaenyra had been born, well, not born to rule, but she'd been brought up to rule. And rightfully she was wroth that they'd stolen her crown and her birthright. And like so, the dance of the dragons was upon them. Rhaena had only been a girl of 13. During the war, Rhaena was appointed to travel alongside her cousin Joffrey Valerion to Goldtown for their own safety. They were told that it was so that they could protect the Vale from Aegon II's dragons. Well, Joffrey was told that because, he wanted to stay, he wanted to fight for his family's rights and all of that stuff. To, make him feel like as if he had a part in the war and a purpose and all that stuff. And Rhaena did bring 3 dragon eggs with her and prayed every night for them to hatch. And Rhaena would remain in the Vale throughout the entire Dance of the Dragons as the ward of Lady Jane Arryn. And somewhere in the midst of her stay, she made the acquaintance of a certain Corwyn Corbray, and we'll discuss later in this video why he has such an importance, unless you already know. And her dragon Morning hatched after some time in the Vale. The war would do much to devastate Rhaena's family. She lost all 3 of her maternal cousins, including Prince Lucerys, whom she was to wed. Her father died, her half-brother Viserys was thought dead, and Rhaenyra would come to perish as well. So here we have a very beautiful image of the Blacks, and it's made by Naomi Makes Art on Tumblr. You should check her out. And if we just take a closer look at this picture, we'll see that we have, to the right, we have Lord Corlys Velaryon, who would die, not during the war, but after the war. And we have Lucerys, Jacaerys, and Joffrey Velaryon, all of them dead. And then down there we have Prince Viserys and Prince Aegon III. Prince Viserys was thought to be dead, so he's gone. And Rhaenyra died, so she's gone. And then we have Daemon, he died as well. And then we have, to the far left, Princess Rhaenys, who would die in the war at the age of 55. So if you think about that, you think of how her entire family almost died. Toward the end of the war, she marched alongside Lady Jane and a great host to King's Landing, where she was reunited with her twin, and both of them succeeded in becoming the darlings of the realm overnight. Her half-brother Aegon III was wed to Jaehaerys Targaryen, which was the only remaining one of her paternal cousins, and he was crowned king after Aegon II was murdered by his own men. And Lord Cragan Stark seized power in what was known as the Hour of the Wolf, and he wanted Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Sea Snake's head, for treason. And can I just say, I'm just going to butt in here with my personal opinion and be like, I didn't like Cragan Stark. I didn't like what he did and how he just marched up and was like, oh, we came really late to this war, but we want some of the action as well. Like, no, go away. And Lord Corlys was the only grandparent they had left, as Princess Rhaenys perished in the war, and they wouldn't stand by and just watch him lose his life. He had done so much for them. So they took their pleas directly to Aegon III and reminded him that he might have had like an ear lost, a cheek slit if it wasn't for Lord Corlys. And Aegon in turn pardoned the Sea Snake, without the express permission of his regent, so they were kind of pissed about that. And when the war was done, as I said, the supply of Targaryens in Westeros was much depleted. Rhaena, Baela, Aegon III, and Jaehaerys Targaryen were thought to be the only ones left living. An heir to the throne had to be declared should something happen to the king or queen, and they were all children, so none of them had any children of their own yet, which meant that they were each other's heirs. Rhaena was considered, even though she was the younger twin. And the regents weren't very fond of Baela, so this caused kind of like a rift. Some wanted Rhaena as the heir, Some were like, we have to nurture the line of succession. This was what the war was about the firstborn not getting their rights. We can't have another war. Rhaena has a hatchling and all that stuff, which is what I said earlier. I was like, this is why it matters. And the sisters had grown into tall, willowy, and beautiful women, and were two of the only Targaryens left, which made them very desirable matches for lords in the realm. When Corlys Velaryon died in 132 AC, plans for their betrothals began being made. However, Baela, whom they wanted to marry to Theomore Manderly, ran away to her cousin in quotation marks because we know that it's kind of common knowledge now, you know. Corlys Velaryon had an affair with Merylda of Hull and had 2 sons with her, Adam and Aelin, and he wrote them off during the war as the bastards of his own son, Laenor Velaryon, but everyone was like, Laenor was really into men, though, as we've noticed. And some said this was to keep them out of sight for Princess Rhaenys, who would have been very, very angry were she to know that her husband had fathered bastards, and she was proud. She was Targaryen to the core. She would most likely have fed Corlys to her own dragon. So that's kind of why. So he was basically her uncle, but cousins. And Baela wed Aelin Velaryon without leave from the regents in 132 AC at the age of 16, and Aelin was only 17 and he was already the Lord of Driftmark. And that's it for today, guys. Moving on to the note, I'm so sorry it's been like 8 months since I posted, but to be honest, I haven't really felt motivated to, as well as having been swamped with schoolwork. I mean, especially now that we're in online school, the teachers, they just keep on giving and giving as if it's Christmas, and I'm like, Tabitha, please chill. I have other classes as well besides yours. And I know that's a shitty excuse, but I don't want to lie to you guys. Also, this video was supposed to be up all in one part, but I've legit been trying to make a post for months, and he kept messing up, like it wouldn't allow me to finish editing, and it was just an awful experience, so therefore I'm splitting it up into 2 parts and hoping that'll solve everything. And also, this is going to be a bit quick, but I'll explain more in the second part to this series, but I've actually put the Targaryen Madness videos on private, which you may have noticed, because I don't know when I'll finish the series, and I just don't want them, vibing there unfinished, because it's unorganized. And the other thing is that I'm thinking of refilming my earliest videos because honestly, they were rough, and we all know they were. I'm talking Saera and Aerea. I am embarrassed looking back because I sound like a dying kitten and it's not a vibe. And the reason for this was because I'd never done anything like that before, and I honestly had such anxiety before filming them, and I wanted it to be nice and perfect, and it just made me so anxious, and it takes a lot to just put yourself out there and make something for everyone to judge, and that's kind of my reasoning, because I know I can do better now, which is why I want to. And leave your thoughts regarding this decision in the comments down below. If you have anything to say, just say it, because I always take everything you say into account. And to conclude, I hope you're staying safe during these corona times, and I'm so sorry if it's impacted you in any way, shape, or form, which it probably has, and I just hope you stay safe, social distance, 6 feet apart, don't tempt your luck, just follow the guidelines, and stay safe. I'm fine, I haven't gone corona yet, hope I never will, and I hope everyone stays safe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Have a nice day. Bye.